to Golden Vein Coding, where we throw code to the wall and see what sticks. And today I put together a script for ransomware for you. And just to get into what we're going to be discussing here, we'll be going over how ransomware attacks, how to protect against, how ransomware works, protecting against the attack, followed by a demo of how it works in real time. So, how does ransomware work? Well, based off the script I wrote, what'll happen first is that it'll prompt you to ask for a certain type of file you want encrypted. And once you select this file, whether it be a text file, maybe a Word document, spreadsheet, or even PDF, what it will do is that using on Windows, it will go through your entire C drive for all the files of that extension, and once that is done, it will then generate a random key, which is then a copy is sent to a remote hacker server, so that when we encrypt all these set files, we can decrypt them with the same key. Of course, after we get paid for, decrypting these files. And while I may be giving encryption a bad rap here, encryption itself is not a very bad thing to use. Like, I have an encrypted flash drive where I can store any files on it and have it protected as long as I know the password to get into said USB drive. But in this case, encryption is going to be used for evil when we're talking about ransomware, because we're holding your files that are encrypted for ransom. So essentially what encryption will do is that it converts data to a non-readable format, which can be used for good or evil, depending on how you use it. But for this program, we're going to be looking at the exclusive OR function found in Boolean logic. So if we speak in terms of binary, say we have a text file with a value of 4 ones, 4 zeros, and we generate a key equal to 1 0 4 times. Using XOR logic, we would get the following. So you see here we have the 4 ones, 4 0, the text file along with the key, and it will generate this output for the file. So what this will do is that it will alter the context of the text file, rendering it useless for whatever you're using it for. So in order to restore it, we take the altered binary here and the key, and we XOR these together to get the original file we were talking about, right here. Now, this might seem a little scary to realize, and it is. Don't worry, it's completely terrifying, understandably horrifying, but there are ways to protect against ransomware. Now, as far as this script is concerned, the way that's run is that you run an executable file to enable it. So the first thing you could do is download files from trusted sources of the internet. So let's say you want to install Zoom on your computer. Well, the best way to install Zoom is to go to their main website, zoom.us, which is their main website where they have the client for you to download and install. That's one way. Second way is to install antivirus on your computer. There's a few out there, such as Symantec, AVG, McAfee. I use Malwarebytes at work, and it's very good for what it does. So what antivirus will do is it'll get rid of any bad or suspicious files on your computer, so you don't have to worry about it. But the number one thing I would definitely recommend, if you haven't been doing so already, put any files you hold near and dear to your heart in the cloud. Now, there There are a few mentioned here, such as Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, or Apple iCloud. Out of all these suggestions, I would definitely be utilizing the cloud if you have a Gmail account or maybe a Microsoft or even Apple. Now, with that being said, before we get into the demo, I feel like I have to give this reminder. I don't know if I legally have to, but just know that ransomware is illegal. Do not use ransomware on the internet. It is a crime and wrong to do. Now, that being said, let's show you how it's done. Hello and welcome to the demo here. So before we get underway with showing it, I just want to show a few things here. So right here we have the file Klarkelware.py. So this will be the remote key server that takes a socket connection from the encrypt executable and copies the key to save it to this file called encryptedhost.txt, which is right here. So what this will do is timestamp when a key is sent over to Klarkelware.py and save it right here. So we have the timestamp followed by the name of the computer, followed by the key itself that we'll use to then later decrypt entire Windows OS. So with that being said, let us start and stop the key server again. So here it is running again. So just bear with me for a minute. Okay, so here is the encrypt executable here, and what I'm going to do is encrypt any TXT files I have on here. So I just have like a couple I have thrown up on here. So here they are, just a few junk ones I just created. So test Word document to encrypt decrypt. So both these are both technically .txt. So what you'll see now will be completely different after we run the executable. So without further ado, let's start this. So I'm not sure if you'll see this on your end, but what the first thing you'll do is it'll ask you to please enter the safeguard password. So here we go. So the next thing I ask is please choose the type of files you would like to encrypt. So you have text files, Word documents, spreadsheets, PDFs, just as an example. So I'm going to choose one for text files. So I might have to cut this video at this certain point right here. Might take a little bit. But the next time, but if I do that, you'll see this output over here where it says connection accepted from so-and-so IP address, and then you'll see another entry in encrypted hosts. So if that's the case, I will see you in a few minutes. Oh, here we go. Okay, so that ran. We have a connection here. So let me just look back at encrypted hosts. So 412. So this is the name of the computer and then the current key we have on here. So let us see what happens to this. Okay, so you see right here, it was originally page .67 something, but now it's all this bleh right here, as well as this guy right here. So now anything that was a TXT on this Windows VM is now encrypted. I can't do or use any of it. So now what we're going to do now is run the decryptor. So the first thing, if you can't see it, it's going to say, please enter the key if you want your files back, which a little terrifying, I think, but it's just how I wrote it. So here we are at encrypted hosts from the key server. Just copy that, paste it in here. So now, same thing as the encrypt. It'll ask you what type of files you like to decrypt. I'm going to choose text files. Alright, so now it should go through the whole process as before, but instead decrypt everything that is a .txt file. Okay, so alright, so let me look right here. What does this look? Okay, not sure what happened, but now we're back to normal, where now this txt file is back to its original contents. Okay, so this thing isn't perfect, but it okay, not perfect, but it works somewhat. I mean, ransomware is not for data integrity, let's be honest. So, with that said, thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. So this might be a little weird after ending the demo, but I forgot to mention showing part of the code here for how this, at least the encrypting, decrypting works. So, as I mentioned here, in the presentation, that ransomware uses, this ransomware uses XOR logic to encrypt and decrypt. So this is just an excerpt here of the file, or of the script. I'm not going to share the whole thing because I don't think it'll look good for me to tell people how to use ransomware. So what we're doing here is opening the file or writing to it and creating an X for, so it's doing open the file, we're looking at every byte in F being the file, and then we're XORing it with the current index of the key and writing it to XOR byte, which is then being written to the file. So this is where, like, my little page holder text document is being XORed with. And then decrypting here, we're doing the same thing but in reverse. So instead of normal byte, we're accessing the XOR bytes in the same file to then reverse it and write to the same file, hence restoring the file itself. So yeah, forgot to mention this in the original recording, but here we are. Thanks for watching, and have yourself a wonderful day.